Awesome. Great to see you guys. Let's kick this off. We have a recording afterwards, so everyone can check out what we discussed today. The idea is that we give you an update tomorrow, big day. THORChain Synthetics are launching, and we'll also take the chance to give you an update about our IDO plans, as well as some general update about what happened the last couple of weeks at Brokkr and what's coming next. And we probably make this now an regular event, so to keep our community up to date. And yeah, Michael, I think you can take over.
I muted myself, so find the right channel. Yeah, as Lukas introduced it nicely. The first section will be about THORChain Synthetics, and then we'll have some AMA and some stuff around it. But as one thing that we prepared for you, we will run also a quiz about THORChain Synthetics throughout the whole AMA, and we'll be giving out 5 Brokkr whitelist NFTs between the correct answers, or to people who correctly answered the whole quiz. And as you can see, there are not that many people, so you have a high chance of winning. I will post the quiz or link to the quiz. It's in Google Forms, and I will post it into the questions for the AMA. And Lukas, could you then, tell us more about the synthetics? Summarize it a little bit. What they are and what we can look forward to tomorrow.
Absolutely. Big thing for the THORChain ecosystem. Synthetics gonna be finally live tomorrow. They gonna be capped at the beginning at 5% of the pool depth. So to take it off slowly, but finally we will be able to get our hands on them. Just to short recap, what are synthetics compared to maybe other derivatives out there which have similar names or similar meaning. In the context of THORChain, these are crypto derivatives which are solely built on the THORChain network, and they're representing some native assets which are connected to the THORChain pools. So they're gonna be the Bitcoin pool will gonna have their Bitcoin synthetic assets, the same as for the Ethereum pool and all other assets which are connected to THORChain. And the main idea or the great benefit right now for synthetics is that we will see much more reduced trading fees, as well as much faster trades happening on the THORChain. Right now, it's takes pretty much time if you swap from Bitcoin native to Ethereum native, and it costs pretty much actually, because you need to pay fees on the Bitcoin network and you need to pay fees on the Ethereum network. And since synthetics are solely assets which are living on the THORChain network, these fees and the time can be reduced by swapping through these assets. But this is just the beginning. This is kind of the first building block, which is needed for much more features which are coming down the road, which are called altogether in THORFI. So there are going to be several services. Actually, let me highlight this post we did a couple of weeks ago. We're also gonna post the link again in the chat, where all the features about synthetics are described in a pretty nice way. So if you look down the road here, you see more features which will be enabled with synthetics. I personally really looking forward to what is called Tor savings. So for anyone who is minting some synth, they will be able to lock in their synth in a so-called vault and earn passively income based on the protocol income on THORChain. So you just need to stay in Bitcoin, put it on THORChain, mint the synth out of it, lock it in the vault, and you're earning passive income, but staying long Bitcoin. I think that's a pretty nice way to attract more people to the THORChain ecosystem. They can stay in their asset and still earn some yield on them. And yeah, down the road, much more features will be enabled. Self-repaying loans, for example, or also crypto ETFs built up on synthetic assets. So pretty exciting, as I think, and I'm really looking forward to finally get Synths launched on THORChain.
That was a great introduction. I realized that there were some issues with the link I sent to the quiz. So guys, hopefully now it should work. Apologies. Yes, it works now. So I will send the link again in the channel. But now you can participate in the quiz. And guys, if you have any questions, you can always ask them in the AMA questions channel. We will be responding probably to most of them, maybe to all of them. And we already had some questions from the beginning or before we started. Some are about Brokkr NFTs or like the Thorguard NFTs with Brokkr Blacksmith attributes. Guys, this won't affect the IDO anyhow. Thorguard or Luna Bulls NFTs, they won't affect it. But I still recommend holding them. Might be, always nice to hold great NFTs with, I'll just keep it like that. But besides that, Trisor asked, why did we choose Terra to get? And what's the broader context of the cooperation? And why Terra, Lukas?
Why Terra? Good question. Thanks for that. I mean, THORChain and Terra are for us two amazing ecosystems, which are having some overlays now with the Terra integration even more. I think the community is pretty similar, the THORChain and Terra community. For us, it was probably 6 or 9 months ago when we decided, okay, let's move to Terra. Compared to put our token on Ethereum as an ERC20, it was pretty obvious to take this step because we saw Terra ecosystems really exploding that time. So many projects are popping up, so much stuff is going on there, and the fundamental layers really works out really well in my opinion. So it was, as I said, pretty straightforward for us to make this decision. We're gonna put all our on-chain logic in terms of the DAO contracts, the strategy contracts. We put them on Terra because it's on the one hand easy to develop and deploy, and on the other hand there are already some amazing protocols out there we can easily integrate. Now with our first strategy, which is gonna be put live also soon with the mirror delta neutral strategy. It's an easy win, I would say, and combining THORChain and Terra is pretty strong.
Definitely. I think also the other point is that THORChain and Terra communities are fairly tied together, and they oftentimes overlap. And you have a lot of people from THORChain also on Terra, and same from the other side. So I think it's like natural progress going from THORChain to Terra. And also, right now, Terra is fortunately doing pretty well, and it's amazing to see the growth. So I think for us, it's worked quite well. And as Lukas said, with the first strategy being the delta neutral, we want to go to Terra. And the other thing is, we've seen, for example, Anchor providing 20% basically safely without any issues. And then we realized, hey, you can only basically get in with USD. But what we can do and what we will do is, why you should join only with USD, then you can join or then you can put in money with basically with any coin that's on THORChain. So we also seen this opportunity where we can also attract more value to Terra this way. So I'd say that's the other thing.
Yeah, and maybe that here for us, the THORChain is this big liquidity backbone we're using. So in the end, we want to offer our user, hey, doesn't matter which token you already possess. We take care of the swapping if needed in the background using THORChain liquidity pools and open up the possibility for the user to invest in the strategies we are offering. So we want to get rid of this manual steps the user needs to take right now to get from one token to another token to be able to invest in any strategy they want. And for that, THORChain is perfect starting ground for us. And with Terra, we have possibilities of offering different strategies.
I muted myself again. Frank also asked a question like, with Synth costing 0.02 Rune to mint and with no revenue accrued to Brokkr platform, what's in it for Brokkr to provide this service? And what's the long-term revenue generation aspect? And of course, then the question continues, but I think this is a great bridge to what we are doing with Brokkr and what's in there. So Lukas.
So they're like minting and swapping synths is not completely free. It's much cheaper than doing it with native assets, but it's not completely free. So there's still some fees which are generated through that. And as an interface for providing the service, you can add some message in the memo that you receive some fees for providing the service. So only through swapping synths, we at Brokkr we already will generate some revenue. But the kind of second revenue stream is gonna be our strategies. So when the user invests in delta neutral, for example, and generate some yield from that, the strategy is gonna take some kind of performance fee on that, and this revenue generated is all flowing back into the treasury, is held by the DAO, and should increase the value of Brokkr protocol overall.
Yeah, and also I guess, or I can imagine, for example, when there'll be interest-bearing synths later on, and there'll be more options what you can do with the synthetics. I mean, like right now it's really like specifically for trading, for cheap and fast trading of. I believe it will be mostly for Bitcoin and Ethereum, the most expensive chains, just in terms of how much they are traded. But when you have, for example, the interest-bearing synths where you can basically create or have yield-bearing or generate yield on top of your Bitcoin, then we can also put it into our strategies, and then we can also generate some revenue in there because we'll have some performance fees, I guess, later on. So that will come, when there are more use cases for synthetics, and when we have more strategies running. I think that's the other thing.
And what's going to be pretty amazing is since synths are THORChain assets, they going to be IBC enabled, which means you can then move the synth within the Cosmos ecosystem. So you can take your synthetic Bitcoin and move it around, for example, to Terra. And we're going to provide some services there to receive this synthetic asset and, again, put it in some strategies, which means you can stay long Bitcoin, you can create a synth out of it and put this synth to work in some strategies. And this is not only Terra, but this is the entire Cosmos ecosystem where IBC is enabled.
Like when I mean, like for that we'll need, or like generate the sense we'll need the IBC connection, which I'm not certain that's already in there. And then
it's not in there, but it's coming down the road.
Yeah, that's one point. But then the other part will be that the Terra protocols will need to enable THORChain Synthetics on their platforms to actually us being able to use them, which is of course the other thing. But I mean, like THORChain is, I think, doing quite well, especially when they will add the USD and Luna pool. I think that will be amazing, and the whole Terra community will see the benefit, and I think they are already seeing it.
Any further question, Michael?
Yeah. Can you disclose how much Brokkr will earn per mint, per swap, or I guess per transaction, or if it is paid by THORChain?
No, so you can we can specify this on our own in the memo message. So in the very beginning, we won't charge any fees, just to bring in more people and on-ramp the entire user base. But down the road, still needs to be defined how much fees we are capturing. But it's probably something which we see in this, like an industry standard, right? So won't be able to get 5% for each swap, but it probably doesn't need to, right? So because there should be high volume, a lot of trades should happen, and if you just get 0.3% on each swap, it's also fine. But as I said, this is going to be defined down the road.
And guys, come on, where are the why are you not filling out the quiz? Come on, let's do this. It's like a free NFT. Even though I see that we may have made
too hard the questions.
Too hard, I guess.
We can walk you through together.
Yeah, that might be also that's a good idea. We could do it at the end. We might loosen up a little bit. And we have some other questions. If we are planning to integrate, some Terra protocols, for example, like SIG Finance or Nebula protocol, or some other protocols that are in there, what are our plans?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the possibilities are large in the Terra ecosystem. So right now it's Anchor and Mirror to build the delta neutral strategy. After that, we're going to build further strategies. And the idea is to have those strategies aggregated into a portfolio, which is just a set of strategies, which we call the savings account. So the idea is to having low risk strategies in there, mainly done with stable coins, and to earn some yield on those stable coins. So Anchor for sure, delta neutral on Mirror. Once the synthetic vaults are enabled, the Thor savings is enabled, we can also make use of stablecoin synthetic vaults to earn yield on it. We're talking with several partners in the Terra ecosystem already if it makes sense that we're going to integrate them and to build strategies up on them. Just had a call with Edge Protocol yesterday to figure out if it would make sense to build some strategies up on Edge. So this is one way how we want to expand, that we are integrating more strategies. But the other way is also that our strategy is going to be integrated by other partners. So once delta neutral is live, we have some partners which are willing to add this strategy in their applications, and so bring more user and more liquidity to Brokkr strategies. And again, this is benefiting THORChain because swaps happening in the background via the THORChain liquidity pools.
And even like some of the liquidity pools might be used in certain strategies, right? That we might use them. So we are trying to use THORChain as much as possible. It's still like the backbone. And I guess Lukas said we are split like in two ways. Like, first, at one point we want to be integrated by some protocols or wallets or some other platforms, for the strategies. And some of them for sure, and they're pretty cool. And some announcements will come out soon. And I think the good thing is that there are so many cool protocols on Terra that we could utilize. It's more like what will bring the most value to you, to the users, and what will make the best strategies. And I'm like, we could spend here hours and discussing what are the best strategies and what we could do. But at the end, it's really like making it creating the best strategies that will hopefully even last longer than just a month. And there are also many protocols, Nebula, Mars, Fujira, others. So I think there are a lot of possibilities, but we need to, I think, to really finish all the work that's on the Delta Neutral, which is like still that's the flagship for now, and then we can focus on other things. In CNF, is there a marketing initiative capture all demographic? Right now, it's more about THORChain Terra. How do you reach the everyone category? That's a good question. I mean, like right now, we need to focus on people that care about us and that who we can even target right now. And for us right now, the main community, the main people that we want to work with, let's say, are people that are in THORChain and the Terra ecosystem. But the good thing is that as we expand and as we provide more features or more value, we can also expand with our services and with people that we want to bring to the platform or bring to the whole infrastructure. Because imagine that, let's say that we partner with certain wallets, right? Or if we partner with even like banks, right? And like then you can get completely to a different universe, let's say, and to a different target group or demographic. But then it's also about the features that we have, because we need to be if we want to provide value to 100,000 people, 1 million of people, we need to have the infrastructure and everything, and the platform and the infrastructure ready to handle all that. And I think that's still in the process of building. And I think the good start will be to capture what we can on THORChain Terra ecosystem or in both ecosystems, and then expand further. Because as we are on THORChain, we are also kind of like chain agnostic. So we can expand to any chain anywhere we want, basically. Do you have any thoughts, Lukas?
No, I think it's fine. As I said, focus now on people which are in this space, and big focus this year is crypto retail. So like those people who are having some top 5 assets on Binance and Kraken and those big exchanges, but they have no clue how to get their hands on DeFi. I think that's a big group, and we want to make it as easy for them as possible to get into DeFi. So to think about this entire user journey from, hey, I've funds on Binance, how to get into Delta Neutral or in any other strategy via Brokkr. That's what we want to offer, and that's going to be the focus for this year. And then down the road, even open up it even to a broader audience, which definitely includes also starting from fiat, going into crypto and DeFi, and maybe going back to fiat.
We have a question from Manu. How efficiently THORChain Synthetics work? How if they are better than the wrapped versions of the assets? Yeah, so we can probably just say like what are the differences and why are synths better?
Sure. I mean, the wrapped assets have one big difference. So they're not really backed by this underlying value. So if you have some wrapped BTC on Ethereum, like they're not really linked to the real Bitcoin. In the case of synths, it's like every synthetic asset is backed by the underlying liquidity pool. The deeper the pools, the higher the back of these assets. That's the reason why for the start it's capped to 5% of the pool depth. And you also don't need to rely on any centralized service to bridge some asset or to save some wrapped assets, right? So this is a feature in THORChain which is decentralized by default, which is secured by the nodes, which is secured by Rune, and which is kind of seamlessly adding to this decentralized system which is already there. So I think it's a big difference to any wrapped asset which we might know out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we have a question on the long one. Basically, one of the Terra influencers said that the Anchor is going to integrate Bitcoin as a collateral. Too long didn't read. My question is that you are planning with Luna Foundation Guard to integrate Brokkr BTC pools into Anchor. I'm not sure what are Brokkr BTC pools. That could be huge for Rune or Brokkr Fire. Have you heard about it, Lukas?
Actually not. I'm pretty surprised, to be honest, because right now it was only yield generating assets as putting as a collateral. So with a native Bitcoin, I don't know how this would work. But yeah, curious how this look like.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right, guys. Do you have any more questions on synthetics or on what are interested in? Because then we might move to another part of the AMA.
Yeah, let's move on.
We got one more, or probably two more. This one is about arbitraging from Frank. This might be better if you have a look on it. It's longer and.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Does minting a Tor BTC using Rune cause BTC price in THORChain to rise?
How can I get back to my chat?
Or maybe we might answer these longer questions separately after the AMA, because it takes longer to read all that, guys. So we'll get back to it after the AMA. I think we would waste a little bit too much time here. Thank you for the link to the stats about the yield-bearing Bitcoin, Brokkr. We will take a look definitely. In that case, guys, we will move to another section. If you are ready, Lukas?
Sure.
Yeah. Tell me, are you ready?
I'm ready, Michael.
Yes, that's right. All right, let's continue. From THORChain, we are moving a little bit to Brokkr news and the Brokkr IDO and how it will look like. We put live, or we already announced that we'll do the Vitus NFT. So maybe you could again, summarize it a little bit and tell people how it will look like, and then the council.
Sure. Right. So actually, we structure our IDO in 3 stages. First one is going to be the whitelist sale. So every Brokkr NFT holder will be eligible to participate in the whitelist sale. This is hosted on the Brokkr website, so no other parties involved there. And on March 30, you as a Brokkr NFT holder, you will be able to access these pages and contribute to the whitelist sale. Good thing here is it's a fixed price. It's the cheapest price in a public sale, and you have a fixed allocation if you want to participate there at the max allocation of 1.5k per participant. And you also have some time to participate. So I think this is gonna take 2 or 3 days. So no stress there. And
it is per NFT, right? Not per participant. So if you have multiple NFTs or like divideless NFTs, they stack. So if you win multiple NFTs, you don't have to be worried that now you can't use them. You can sell them as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. This is the first stage. Second stage is a for-starter sale. So we gonna do a price discovery there, which is kind of a new feature built by for-starter and gonna be used the first time in the Brokkr sale. So it works pretty straightforward, pretty easy. We have a certain allocation we put in there for pro tokens, and people then start contributing UST, Terra stablecoin, to participate in the sale. And based on how much USD is contributed, the price is calculated. And if you then, after a couple of days of contributing, if you think, okay, this is actually a too high price for me, I don't want to pay that much, you still have the possibility to withdraw. So we won't sell you something you don't want to have at that price. So this is, as I think, a pretty fair approach to give, on the one hand, everyone the chance to participate. It's going to be uncapped, so you can participate with as much as you want, but still have the possibility to withdraw if you're not fine with the final price there. And the final price is then determined by the for-starter sale, and this is taken as an fixed price again, as an input price for the first stage, which is addressed to mainly the Terra people, the lunatics. So we're gonna announce this also soon, how this third stage will look like.
But that will be fixed, right? So if you, let's say that the price that's been discovered on THORStarter will be, let's say, I don't know, $0.50, then the price on the Terra Launchpad that we'll use will be also $0.50, and it will be fixed, and there will be also a fixed allocation that you can do or like use or buy for. And I think the THORStarter price discovery is quite new in the THORChain ecosystem. I think I'm aware of only, I think XDeFi tried something similar, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, but not launched in for-starter in that case.
Yeah, I'm like, they use me, so if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's quite unique. You just, let's say you have $1,000 and you just want to buy pro token, so you just put it in there, and you don't have to be worried that there will be some whale that will front run you and then will increase the price, and then you will just buy it for that price. Here you will just buy it for 1K, and then you will decide, do I like the price or I don't like the price, and you can withdraw it if you don't. So it's pretty cool. And those are the 3 stages. Also, like, if you have questions for the IDO, let us know. But if you will ask again about the Thorgars or the Lunabulls NFTs, if they give you anything on the IDO, the answer is no. Okay, yeah. In that case, we will be sharing more information about the IDO process in the next 2 weeks. During the time, we will release everything you will need. And we will also release some guides on how to participate in the whitelist, how to participate in the Thor starter, and also how it actually works. For example, the price discovery phase. That's also important. But if you have no other questions, then I guess you can move to the last stage, and those are like general updates from Brokkr team. So what you got?
Yeah, it's amazing how much stuff is actually happening right now. Like team is really pushing hard. There are more than 20 people fully aligned to bring Brokkr to life, and now of course fully focused on the IDO. It's just 22 days left, so as you can imagine, pretty intense time right now. But progress is fine. So we a couple of weeks ago we have finalized the DAO contracts, the IDO contracts, and we handed them over to Heilborn to get it audited. And as what we heard so far, it looks quite good. So no big issues found yet, and so everything is on. Planned, yeah. And sorry,
knock it on the wood, like no issues found, and hopefully they won't.
No issues found. No issues found. That's good. At the same time, we are finalized the delta neutral strategy internally. So we are from our side ready to go. We're now starting the internal testing to check that it works as it should work, and after that we're also gonna hand it over to get it audited for sure. But we expect to release at least a beta version of it around IDO, so to be able to give out some value already to our users. We have finalized two partnerships, two integration partnerships. So with the delta neutral strategy put live, we already have two partners, well-known partners in the ecosystem, the THORChain ecosystem and the Terra ecosystem, which gonna integrate the delta neutral strategy and gonna offer them in their applications as well. I think we're gonna announce this next week or the week afterwards. And we also finalized our Lunar Bulls partnership. So to all Lunar Bulls NFT holders, expect some cool stuff happening in the next weeks. We're going to host events together with Lunar Bulls. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, Michael. The next one. Don't want to spoil anything.
Something that you shouldn't. No, I mean, like for the Lunar Bulls and also Torgards, we'll be doing some events together, like all the communities together. We will run a poker event together. We will have probably something like a satellite. So if you are playing poker, definitely follow us on socials, because we'll be probably starting next week. And then there will be like a bigger main event where all the communities will play against each other. There might be some knockouts if you get rid of a core team member from the project and stuff like that. It will be quite fun. And we have some bigger things coming. It's not only about events together. They are partners. They are NFT partners. They are doing cool things. We are also doing cool things. And we have something that you are not used to. Let's say if you are an NFT holder, it will be pretty big. So that will also come out, probably like a week before the IDO. That will be a huge surprise, I think, because we never talked about it yet.
And the main idea is really to give NFTs more utility. I think that we can say is it's cool to have some nice NFTs, right? But in the end, you also want to kind of have some utility with them. And I think we've found a quite novel way to make this happen. And more to come. And also maybe more things which gonna happen soon for Brokkr. So we're gonna launch our new landing page. I think this week, next week, something like that. Really,
not next week, this week.
This week already. Wow. Yes. to give an updated version on what Brokkr is all about. I think it's pretty outdated right now if you check out the landing page. But this should reflect really the entire idea of Brokkr and where we're heading to, which value we want to provide to our ecosystem partners. And we're gonna put our THORChain liquidity providing live, so you will be able to get in some LP positions via Brokkr, because we think it is also a super important feature to get liquidity in the pools.
I will jump in. It's not built how you are used to. We took the approach of LPing and investing basically together, because Brokkr is essentially trying to be more like investment friendly and simplifying investing in DeFi. And when you, let's say, when you are not that familiar with THORChain or with pools, it's quite confusing. So we took a different approach, and we took it more like from the investment approach. That will, as Lukas said, it will go out next week. We'll also have some article that will explain what we are actually doing. But I think it's pretty cool. It's what you haven't seen before here on THORChain. And actually, one more thing, there are more pages coming from Brokkr. In the whitelist article, we mentioned that there will be some community rewards page and leaderboard that will also, or that should also go live this week. But you will be we will be able to track it, let's say from the start of the March. So even if we put it live this week or at the end of this week, we are able to track your interaction with Brokkr, let's say to the start of March. What I want to say by that, if you interact with Brokkr on Twitter and on Discord, you'll receive some points, and these points will take you to the leaderboard, and you will win some stuff. Do you have anything else, Lukas?
Not really. We need to save some stuff for next week.
Oh yeah. And I can see now that finally we are having more right responses. Great, guys. Great job. We are getting there. We will, actually, we are not announcing the winners because I didn't put in there the the Discord handle. So unfortunately, we will just say the addresses. And guys, if you know that you received the full points, send me PM with your travel address, and I will check it out to see that you won, and I have a better and I can keep a better track record of that. But otherwise, I think that's it for today. And yes, we recorded this session, and we will put it live tomorrow, most likely. And any last words, Lukas?
No, not really. Thanks for joining in. Pretty exciting time for us at Brokkr right now. 3 weeks to go, and then there's the IDO. But we won't leave then, for sure. So this is just the beginning to a much longer mission we are on, really bringing millions of people to DeFi. I think that's the main message. And yeah, pretty confident that we are in good progress right now.
Great to hear. All right, guys, in case that's a wrap for today. And this is also a wrap for the sponsors. So I'm closing the quiz now, and it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining in. Take care.
And see you next week, because we will repeat it. All right.